Writing a killer project management CV. Thinking about some of the questions that we always get from people that are looking to write a better or killer project management CV. I've not updated my CV for years. I'm not even sure what people are looking for these days. Why doesn't my CV attract as much attention as it used to? How do I differentiate myself from the other project management professionals? Why can't I seem to get interviews? I don't even know if it's my CV that's letting me down. These are just some of the questions that I've been getting from project practitioners that I've spoken to over the last few years. Without a doubt, to the last question, the answer is probably yes. It probably is the CV that's letting you down. Why do I know this without looking at somebody's CV? Because 99% of project management CVs I see are not hitting the mark with the people who read the CVs. That's somebody like me or an hiring manager. It's not just about adding the right keywords or writing about everything you've ever done in your career. It's about writing a short marketing document, something that catches the eye of a reader and gets them hooked so they want to know more. So hi, I'm Lindsay Scott.
And I'm Mick Hides.
And we're from Ours People.
So what we want to do in this short presentation is to give you a taster of some of the products we've got there to helping you to write a really powerful, as we've said there, a killer CV. So one of the, when writing a CV, we know that it's probably not the easiest thing to do. Some of the common issues we've got, people don't know what to put in, people don't know what to leave out, trying to understand the types of audiences, and getting over that concept that this is your shop front. Whether you are a contractor or whether you're a permanent employee, if you're out there in the market, you are trying to sell yourself, and as such, the CV is very much your shop front. When we're looking at a CV, and we'll give you a taster of the type of format that we find really works, we tend to think about the Pareto in terms of the 80-20 rule. And what we mean by that is that 80% of your effort should really be put into the 20% of the CV that really makes a difference. And one of the things we'll talk about in the various workshops and webinars that we've got is where that 20% is. What we're trying to do is to make sure that you stand out from the crowd, because, as Lindsay will go on to speak about later, that's something that we find that a lot of our candidates don't tend to do.
One of the things that we also find with project managers is that generally, when you've been working for a long time, you've got a long career history. So this old concept about what to put in and what to keep out generally means that most people will take a bit of a scattergun approach. And it's a scattergun approach to writing a CV. So it's basically just sticking in everything you've ever done. It's a really difficult concept for people that are reading a CV, because they're not too sure about what is it that is really making you a good project manager that they'd like to hire. So this whole concept of trying to keep it in 2 pages or even at the maximum 3 pages is really difficult for a lot of project people. However, it doesn't matter if you then start to write maybe 5 or 6 or 7 pages, it won't get read. So the idea is that you need to be able to put in the work on those first 2-3 pages that really do sell yourself. The other thing about the project management CV is that it needs to communicate effectively to different audiences. So Mick touched on the types of audiences there, and it's not just people like me that really do understand the ins and outs of project managers. You've also obviously got line managers that maybe do know a lot about project management. What about the HR people, the resourcing people? These people that don't know the ins and outs of project management, how can you put together an effective CV that communicates effectively to all these types of audiences? One of the other problems that we also suffer from is this ability to blow our own trumpet. And actually, through the webinars that we put together, we can talk about key achievements that are really hard-hitting without just blowing trumpets. One of the things about the project management CV is, of course, that you want to be memorable for all the right reasons. So it's about being able to clearly articulate what it is that you do in a clear, concise language that allow you to leave an impression, the right impression, on somebody that's going to make the next decision to bring you in for an interview. The other thing that we also cover is looking at the concept of multiple CVs. One of the great things about a project management CV is that if you bother to change it for each opportunity that you're looking at, the chances are that your success rate or your interview ratio rate will increase. It's a known fact, it does work. So what we're going to do now is just have a look at some of the three main components. The very first thing that we look at when we're putting together a project management CV is unique selling points. You should include your unique selling points in the CV. It's what makes organisations want to hire you over the next guy. You need to include the features of your work and what you'll be bringing to a new organisation. What benefits a new organisation can expect to see when they hire you. It's all about marketing talk, but you can see where we're going with this. If you're a project management practitioner, chances are marketing's not going to be one of your strongest points. But that's okay, because we've got 3 unique webinars that cover off 3 components that we're going to be talking about in this small presentation. We've taken over a decade's worth of experience in what makes a great project management CV and created these 3-hour webinars. We also do a 3-hour workshop. And this will be used to be showing you how to create a project management CV. So we cover the unique selling points. So this is the things that are unique to you in the role that you perform. So we show you how to work out which parts of your career history are the bits worth writing about. And as you can see from the slide there, that we're talking about the hook at the top of the CV. It's just a profile. This is the thing where a lot of people always write the me too, that I'm a great leader, I'm a great team player, etc. We've seen so many, thousands of CVs that are just very generic, and it's missing this whole opportunity to really sell your unique selling points.
So another area where we can really look to stand out is this section we call key achievements. What we often see with CVs is at the top of the page somewhere people have a whole list of skills, but the problem with skills in that sense is they're out of context. It could be that you've been on numerous courses and you've got all those skills there, but what it doesn't tell me is actually what you've done with it is how you've used those skills to really add value to an organisation. And this is what we do within key achievements. They're really concise paragraphs that do a great job of showcasing what skills you've got, but more importantly, what you've done with them and how you've made a difference within your organisation. And one of the things that we've been able to do, both with the key achievements and the unique selling points, is break these down into a really simple formula so that we can help you with those, you can look at those and apply those to your project, and you can start to make a difference.
Great thing about key achievements, it's also great for interview preparation as well. So it's almost like you do the work once and you're getting multiple benefits.
Yeah, I mean the other thing with this approach is that very quickly you can tailor both the USP, the profile, and the key achievements to suit the jobs you're applying for. So gone are the days of having one very generic, wishy-washy CV. We can actually start to look at very quickly tailoring each application to the job that you're going for.
And the final part is in terms of the focus where you're really, spending most of your time. It's the career history part of it. And this is the bit where obviously we're wanting to see real key competencies that make you a good project manager. So this is the ins and outs of what you've done and how you've done it. The interesting thing about this though is it's often an area where most project managers do get confused. There's a lot of the we did this and we did that. The problem is with the role of project management, it's very much a team effort. But with writing a project management CV, you have to focus back on yourself. The other thing about writing and putting together a career history is that you do need to focus on those key competencies that other people, other organisations are looking to hire. So again, with the CV workshops and the CV webinars, what we do is help you to identify what the key competencies are, regardless of what job you do. So if you're a project manager, program manager, PMO manager, or project support, we have and can highlight the key competencies that are expected in the marketplace for each of those practitioners. The other thing that this also does is allows you to really focus and get really to the point and leave out the wishy-washy stuff. This is about being able to make the CV short, yet punchy and effective. Now from the 3 components, it may seem like it's straightforward, it's not rocket science. And we do know that people struggle. which is why you've got 3 webinars that are available for each component. So you can look at one for the USP, that's where you feel like you need more help, or you can have a look at the key achievements one, if that's where you feel like you really need to bone up. And the last one, the career history one, will show you how to make those short and punchy career histories for each one of your career roles that you've done in the past. So
this has just been a bit of a taster. It's showing you the scale of what it is you need to do. And at this point, often people are starting to glaze over a little bit because they're really not feeling confident about how to deliver this, how to move forward with this. But hey, that's okay. We've spent quite a lot of time developing this suite of products. We have webinars that you can look at from history, where we've actually gone through in detail each of the points that we've been talking about, and often we've answered questions that people like yourself have. So hey, don't panic, come along, listen to the webinars, find out how to do this yourself. Or equally, if you want to find how to do this face-to-face, then we also do CV workshops.
And just to let you know, a little tiny secret that not many people know about these webinars is that for each one of these difficult things to do, we've actually come up with some really winning formulas. And we know project managers love formula and process. So the really great thing about it is that you're really struggling with things like key achievements, or putting together a career history, or just looking for your USPs. We've actually come up with some formulas that make it a hell of a lot easier.
So see you soon.